Good evening, Central Indiana. Welcome to JTH Construction Studio, Election Night 2022. We have some winners in studio tonight, and some winners off camera that we can't show. Wow. Joining us once again. How many years is this? How many does this make, Peggy?
I finished my 10th year, so I will be going into my 11th session.
That's fantastic.
Seems like yesterday.
Seems like we just had you guys in here and we were doing this again and again and again. But once again, the victorious Peggy Mayfield representing our area in District 60. I want to say 63 for some reason. Can we expand it? 61, 2, and 3?
That puts me in southern Indiana.
Take it all. Mr. Lucas won't care. So yeah. But yes, once again, victorious Peggy Mayfield, her and her husband Dean. Congratulations, guys. It's never easy. You guys know that. You say it all the time. And we're already planning for the next election, aren't we?
It's never ending.
Keep going. Before I get back to Peggy, we have two other victorious candidates sitting on this side of the table with me in two very hard-fought, difficult, down-to-the-wire races. Melissa Owens-Green. Wait.
Dave Hall.
Dave Hall in District 62.
Monroe County.
Really?
What? Monroe County?
He's being congratulated on his night.
We're waiting.
I haven't looked at the results.
Sorry.
I'm gonna.
And Luke Jackson, school board. Melissa.
Melissa board.
She can be on the school board if you want. So,
She's a winner. And then Luke Jackson did win the school board, unopposed, but he is on the school board. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lots of tough roads ahead. That's a very highly contested group right now. I will want to say this. I do want to say this. Numbers we have: Dan Conway did defeat Don Leps tonight by what, 350 votes total.
350 votes.
Very close.
That's the only numbers that I've seen. Somebody's phone's ringing.
What is that?
Our election correspondent is getting numbers from across the country. Can we call Arizona yet, Dean?
Arizona's not going to get called.
Not till a month from now. All right, let's start with Peggy. Peggy, thoughts, words. I know you hate getting put on the spot like this, but thoughts about today's election and what you're wanting to accomplish moving forward.
You know I hate getting put on the spot like this.
But, you know.
Wait, I'm sorry. What thoughts
about today's work, all your helpers and all that good stuff, and then moving forward, what's next for the state? What are we looking to do? I know there's some races that could change some things going on.
Well,
right
I
now.
was distracted because I had just gotten some texts, and it looks like we might take a Republican seat up in the Anderson area that we had not expected. So Kyle Pierce, I'm waiting for final numbers.
Any word on the one up in the one we've been watching?
I've not seen anything on the first
9,000 down last time we knew.
Yeah.
So we're waiting on these final numbers is really on the edge of your seat,
Right?
Because it looks like we might have won Monroe County, which is that district is Monroe County, Brown County, and a little bit of Jackson,
Which would be phenomenal.
And then up in Anderson, which is Terry Austin's been there for 20 plus years,
20 plus.
Might be losing her seat. So everything is really, it's up in the air.
Right.
Until
It's
those
still
final
very
numbers
early
come in.
In the night, election-wise.
Mathematically speaking, though, my race is done.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yes. Got numbers for us, Dean?
Well, there was some very. Normally, we don't have a lot of contested races here in the county,
Right.
but we had a commissioner race that was contested, Kenny Hale, and Kenny won by a large margin over the Democrat and the Independent. In fact, the Democrat got more votes than the Independent, which is sort of unusual.
Congrats to Kenny. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I told him to stop by tonight if he had a chance.
I mean,
unbelievably hard worker.
Yeah.
I don't know how, and Jay helped him put out signs. I called Jay one night and said, "Man, Kenny's got a herniated something or another, and this going on, and he hit his noggin. And he shouldn't even be out doing this stuff." And he was putting out 1,200 signs or
Best guy.
Yeah.
some.
I mean, he had a giant thing hanging off his side, and
Yeah.
And he was still just going at it. I was like, stay in the truck. He was like, he could not stay in the truck.
Right.
And anytime he saw a constituent, he was there. Like,
Yeah.
I've never, and I've put out signs for 20 years. I've never been out with somebody putting out signs that got the kind of cheers
Yeah.
like Kitty.
Oh,
Well,
Kenny's-
he's never been out with Melissa or Peggy.
Right.
Because Kevin and I don't get cheers.
No.
You know, Peggy's districts, it stretched over into Johnson County, and over there, people were yelling and cheering when I was putting signs out of there, and she had just gotten there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'll say this for Kenny, and a lot of people don't know this, but I had a question about school security,
Right.
and I reached out to the county commissioners, and Kenny set up a meeting for me with Sheriff Myers and Kim Meredith. You know, and all three of them sat there, and here I was just a regular citizen, but the three of them, you know, took the time to listen to me and talk to me.
That's
Right.
So
fantastic.
that meant a lot to me, you know,
Right.
just
They both
because
care a lot.
here's somebody who can't really do anything for you, you
Right.
know, per se, but we're gonna still listen to you and help you
And sometimes it's just knowing who to call.
That's
you
true
know,
too.
and they know who to call. The other one that I was, so the council race, that was not close either. But up in Madison Township, there were 4 running for 3 spots, and the 3 Republican candidates held on and won. So
Fantastic.
we defeated a Libertarian, 2 Independents, and a Democrat. So it's a good night.
Yes, across the statewide,
Yeah.
and maybe across the country from
Yeah.
way it's looking.
Yeah.
I have
Hopefully. And if
Call for it.
that
Yeah, great.
District 62 holds down in
You want to read that?
By about 600 votes right now, with 99% of the vote in.
and that's a 2+2 Republican district. The person that ran against Dave Hall, who's a great guy, it's a newly drawn district, is Penny Githens, who ran against Peggy twice. Dave and I have a little bet going about, you know,
friendly wager.
a little friendly thing, but I hope he wins. He's a great guy. He's
Is
from
he
Jackson
winning?
County. He's winning
He's
by,
currently winning by about 600
600
votes,
votes.
with 99% of the
And
vote
that's
in.
and this
County?
guy has knocked. It's Monroe, Jackson, and Brown.
That's unbelievable.
Center,
And-
center part of the state, right there.
And he has knocked thousands of doors. I mean,
Yeah.
just thousands. Probably
That's big.
one of the hardest working candidates I've seen in a long time. So, yeah,
That's fantastic. Of course, Judge Williams won tonight. Soniga won tonight. Rich Myers is the sheriff. Once again, congratulations to those 3 gentlemen. Doggone it. I had that list in my mind. Clerk. You won.
Tammy.
Tammy
Tammy
Dolan.
Park.
And I
She actually
told
got
her-
the
Tammy-
most
yeah, Tammy
votes.
Dolan.
she got I think she got the most votes, and
Kinda
I
right.
will just say, you know, Tammy had to take over under
That's a
not the best
big shoes to fill.
and was prepared to win in January. You know, take over in January. Had to unfortunately take over earlier.
Yeah.
And she's not missed a stride. I sent her a nice little note this afternoon and just said, you know, you're doing a great job. There was a there was a lot of people at the polls, not voters but workers, and there was some interaction that maybe wasn't quite appropriate. And so when I talked to her earlier, she was like, she's ready for this day to be over. And I'm like, yeah. So
She truly went from the frying pan to the fire. There was no transition,
No,
right.
no lead in. She was just handed, and with a very short time before an election too. So that was hard, and she did a
Yeah.
great job with the preparation that she was able to manage.
Tammy's a good gal. Was in there tonight a little bit waiting on results, and just that's not an easy job. To Kim, what's the other little gal's name in there? Where you had Dakota, Molly, Tammy, and Kim. Hats off to them because they've been at it all day. they're
they've
probably there
been at it for 30 days,
right.
Yeah.
And they had
And faced a lot of adversity.
and you know, unless there's a big screw up, nobody ever hears about it. But I mean, I called her one day, and they had to run up Mooresville. They couldn't get the machines to connect, and so they had to run up there and do that. And just little things. I mean, nothing ever goes 100% perfect.
Right.
But she, you know, she stepped in. She's done a great job, and first one's under her belt. So she thought it was going to be a municipal election, which are a lot easier because it's a lot smaller. And
Not this go round, kiddo.
It was not.
There
so.
were people in that booth or out that door all day downtown.
Yeah.
Do we get a final count on votes in county?
Kim's on. Kim Dalton.
Kim, congratulations and nice job to you and your crew, Molly, Dakota. Yeah, you guys are just amazing, amazing people.
41% turnout.
At-
So
From 25%, which
At
is
the
about
primary?
standard. Yeah.
yeah,
Or
so
from the last general?
walk-in absentee was right at 8,500. Mail-in paper ballots was 1,472, and there was 11,583 today.
I believe that.
So
About 11,000 of them came through our area.
Yeah, but so 41% on an off-year election is a pretty big turnout. So
Is that good?
no,
No.
Mears, yeah, that was a race that we were watching, and thought that with all the horrific crime that they're having in Marion County, that
Be
they'd
some
throw him
change.
out. But doesn't appear that it's going to happen.
Now this young lady right here, I've known since we were like 8 years old, 7, 8 years old.
So you
in
know
church.
that means almost 50
done
years
7.
ago.
It's been a
I
while.
told that to someone today. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing tonight. And I've known this guy like 50 years. And they're like, what? That's a long time.
Literally, I can remember you, me, your brother, and my brother
Yep.
hanging out and doing stuff,
Your
whether
folks.
it be out, our folks,
Loved your parents so much.
out in the middle of nowhere, running through creeks and spending the night in tents and everything.
Playing cards.
Yep, to all hours of the night.
Yep.
And
Running wild.
I remember you when you had mentioned about doing this,
Hmm.
and I told you, you know, follow your heart, and you did, and here you are.
And you've always
I've supported you.
been there to support
I've
me.
known you and your better half. I mean, very much so for a very long time.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But for a very long time. So
Yeah.
you're just good people, and I think
Well, we're very community minded, and you are as well.
that am I? You think?
You
Yeah,
are.
you care a lot
Sometimes.
most of the time.
I'm just very proud of you. Very proud of you. I know your mom's gonna be very proud of you if she
Yeah.
hasn't already had that call with her tonight. I know
Yes.
your brother is.
Yeah.
So
Well, and you know what? I had a lot of people who've backed me along
you've
the
had,
way. My family and
You've had some good help from that side of the table. I'm just saying.
I have, and I'm really grateful.
Mostly me.
right, Jason.
Mostly Jason Hart.
So, and then there's Mr. Jackson next to you.
Yep.
Last year, almost about this
It's
time,
almost been a year. Yeah.
we got involved with a little thing that was going on in Mayfield when a tornado went through and devastated a community. To go down there and see the pictures, it was heartbreaking because it's not like when a hurricane hits and you wipe out an entire city. This thing took a swath about a mile and killed everything down that structure, down that mile. And then there was houses that were virtually untouched on this side, windows not even broken out, and then families that lost everything down through here. And it was just amazing to see.
Mhm.
And that one area that we went to where the 9 individuals had passed, we jumped on that, raised a bunch of stuff, and this man right here come out of the woodwork and helped us, and moral support, and just giving us thanks and praise. It takes a pretty unique individual to hang out with us anyway, because we're a rowdy bunch, and especially at 2-3 in the morning. But Luke helped out and just jumped on board and put up with all of our nonsense and stayed solid all the way through. And he's a good man. Some of the things I saw him do and say, then he messages me about what he should do for running for office. I was like, dude, I'm like 0 for 3. I don't know if you should ask me. So I've had my teeth kicked in every time. But I told him, and he posted that. I told him to stay true to his heart, and whatever happens, happens. And I know
Run a
he
fair
will.
race.
And I think the school board is in good shape having you take that spot. So hats off to both y'all and Peggy. I think Mr. Williams was supposed to come down and say hi. I don't know if he's going to show up. our community's in good shape. Our area's in good shape with Peggy. Our district's in good shape. It's there's a lot of places in this country that are in worse off conditions than what we are. And if we all work together and get along, I think we can accomplish a great deal in this area. So,
I agree.
Absolutely.
And go over the winners again.
Keep
Peggy or Wendy.
Yeah.
got a little late.
Saw me today.
Winners again. Melissa Green, winner.
Hey, Wendy.
Luke Jackson, school board winner.
I win.
What is your district out there? I'm sorry.
Me?
Yes.
I'm in District 2,
District
so
2.
Madison townships over in Morgantown, Green Township.
Judge how much
Harrison.
I pay attention.
Harris
Jackson.
Jackson.
And then District 60 statewide, we've got Peggy Mayfield once again, winner for like the 30th year or something. It's just
Not quite.
incredible.
Don't I look great?
10,
She
yeah.
looked for 30 years.
10,
Stop.
yeah.
But a bigger majority this time.
It was a
Really?
larger margin
Yep.
this time, which
Really?
And you picked up some new geography.
Yeah.
Right?
the folks in Johnson County have really embraced me. I'm very grateful for that. Lots of people there introduced me to lots of new people. I mean, I do shopping, I do things in Johnson County, but the district that I have in Center Grove is basically south of Olive Branch and over to 135, and then it kind of creeps south and west. But it's all residential. It's not business.
Right, you did a lot
So
of
it's
door knocking.
It's a lot
I
of
know
door
you did.
knocking.
I know you did.
Primarily did in the primary.
Yep. And the
But
voters
you
were
just have
happy
to
to see
keep
you at the
continually
door.
building on that, and that's the thing in any public office or in any successful office of any sort. Never ever
touch.
stop meeting people.
Yeah, you got to stay in touch.
And whether they're your constituent or not, they know someone, and it's the connections. And that's one of the greatest things that I've been able to do as an office holder is when people say, I have a problem or I need something, it is like we were speaking earlier, you know who to connect.
Mhm.
If you
100%.
can't help him, you know someone who does know. And that makes all the difference in the world.
And those are the stories I hear about you too. Oh, I know Peggy. She helped me with X. Or, I talked to Peggy once and she steered me in the right direction. Or how about that young man that you met at the fall festival out in Green Township? Like, you know who I'm talking about? You bought
Oh,
the
yeah.
purse from?
Yeah.
He was very
from,
intrigued by
Nigeria.
you and from Nigeria, and he had some questions about how you feel about inflation and that sort of thing, and where the country's going as far as
Yeah.
the government's concerned, and he was very happy to support you.
So, but he didn't live in my district.
No, but he has friends that do, and I think that speaks volumes that he was willing to share that.
One of the things that
Hey,
when
Jake,
you
it did not go dead today.
when you're helping people with this, you really can't talk about it because many times it's a very personal,
Yes.
very private issue that you need to address,
yep.
and so you can't say, "Hey, I'm helping so and so with medical issues or whatever the case might be." So,
I know, and you do that a lot.
but I know that it just makes me feel really good when I make that connection.
and you
We've
do.
done that with some business people. I've done it with some angel investors.
Yes.
And I'm still waiting for one investor. A couple years ago, the guy came and said, I've got proprietary invention. Who do I talk to? And of course, you immediately think, yeah, right. That's a crazy idea. Well, then I see something in the IBJ that there's a $43 million investment in his company. Took almost 2 years.
Wow. So
But
you
those
saw it
angel,
come to fruition.
you put them in touch with the right people. They find the angel investors.
That's
and I
really
want to
neat.
see if this thing really comes to fruition. It would be really cool.
That's really neat.
The real MVPs from Kim of today
Yeah.
are the poll workers. They're busy for the time.
Yeah.
They opened a few locations that had voters still voting at 6:45.
Yeah.
What did Beverly Chic say?
She said,
On down, a
Down,
little
yeah,
farther,
the other way.
down the other direction.
there was one up here. There you go.
Brenda.
Good job, Melissa. And congrats.
But there was another comment.
Yeah, she's
I'm
at the bottom.
curious.
I'm getting to it. I still think
What was
Costin-
that about Dino?
His
from
phone
Jake?
went dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think Costin is still mayor.
Yeah.
Since she won, is Melissa and her mom singing here Friday at the restaurant.
Beverly
will be
standing
singing
inside
tonight.
Beverly, you're in trouble. My mother is going to be mad.
Melissa will sing tonight.
So that's kind of a joke. A lot of people don't know that I did sing like back in the day, and so that's kind of a running joke. But my mom was going to come and see
So
me
wait a minute.
sing.
I just
It's
sat here and
alive.
said I know all this stuff about you, and not ever
You didn't know
once
that?
did I hear you sing on video or anything.
Oh yeah, my family's all into. Her mom says I'm Ken.
Yeah, my mom thinks he looks like our family. No, you don't remember? I was in every high school
You know
musical.
what? I take that back.
Musicals.
You and Clark
Yes,
sang
in the
in
middle
8th
school,
grade.
and we won.
Boom! Now I stand corrected.
We won. We
You did
won.
win.
We won the 8th grade talent show.
Local national.
Yeah.
Are we starting to get back into first loves here? or-
Right.
No,
They
no,
sang
not that far back.
8th grade and won a contest. I
Yeah,
know
we
that.
did. Yep.
Take that back.
So, Peggy's talking about
Yeah.
connecting people, or Melissa's talking about that, but in Mooresville there was a AES light issue that was posted, and I'm like, they said call customer service. I'm like, you can call customer service till you're blue in the face. And we happened to be someplace Saturday, and I mentioned to somebody with AES and said, there's lights flickering, I don't know what the deal is. And he said, send me the address. I did. And today it's being fixed.
Mhm.
And it's like,
And that's the power of
it's only
networking
because I knew
and
who
caring.
to
Right.
call.
Right.
And I knew who to call because Peggy introduced me. I mean,
Right.
we met those people. So the other person we didn't congratulate is Troy Sprinkle.
Sprinkle.
Troy
yeah.
Sprinkle.
And Troy won.
He won single pretty handily, didn't he?
He got 3,600 to 1,380.
16.
60. Yeah. So yeah,
And you-
2 to 1.
And you were worried about that one a little bit.
I was a little worried about that one only because his opponent's pretty well known down there, and you know,
Not a lot of votes to go around down
there's
there.
not a lot of votes, and got kind of a late start.
Yeah.
And so I congratulate him, and
Hats off to Kenny Hale.
Kenny Hale.
He wins again.
yeah,
We had mentioned that a little earlier. Just a fine human being. What he does with the Valita every year up there is just amazing. He's been in a couple times off and on over stuff like that.
I might mention that early Republican vote count in District 60, which is most of Morgan County, doesn't include that part of Mooresville now. Craig Haggard,
that's right.
congratulations, Craig.
Yeah,
Did he
congratulations
win
to
a-
Craig.
Your wife voted for you, so you won.
Yes.
No, congratulations. But,
He went unopposed, correct?
He was unopposed.
Good.
But the District 60, the House Republicans did some polling the other day, and of the 100 House seats, District 60 was running more than double of any other House district in the state for Republican registered Republican voters.
Really?
We still didn't know if they were going to vote Republican. We assumed that they're voting Republican because they turned out early.
Right.
And with these two other contested races besides Peggy's, I'm like, I think that helps those guys. I mean, I think they were going in, and obviously there were a lot of straight party voting, and that helped everybody. I mean,
So I'm gonna try to address the elephant in the room. Do the numbers reflect of what's going on in this country and people's had enough? Is that why there was an increase in Republican voting today? We went from 25 to 40% here, 41%.
on a off year election, 41% is a big number.
That's a jump.
It's a big number, and we'll have to wait and see the national numbers. I mean, I see that a couple, Ohio's maybe not a lock, which we thought it was.
Right.
Fetterman, who can't put one sentence together or a thought,
He is not winning, is he?
he's winning. The problem in that race is there were 1,000,005 votes cast before that debate, and 75% of those 1,000,005 were Democrat votes.
So they're going to find
So he
more
had a
votes at
hell of a
3
big
a.m.
lead before that debate, and so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Who's our next contestant?
There
There
he is, the judge. Hi, Judge. Yeah,
Hi.
here. Oh, actually, Judge, come here.
Did he win?
Did
he win?
Not only did I win, I got more votes than Soniga.
Did you get one of Soniga?
However,
Here.
Judge over here.
it's very important to note, though, and stay humble, because I got my clock cleaned by Julie Britton Minton, just Sheriff Myers, and Tammy
Tammy
Parker. got
And Tammy
more-
Parker.
Yeah, so
I don't think that the clerk has ever
Been the highest vote.
been the
getter.
highest vote getter. Yeah.
thank
Usually
you.
the sheriff.
Yeah, well, the sheriff is in a great spot because he can have everyone go, crime's awful, you need to do something. He says, I will. I'll send a deputy, and then they do what they do, and then something comes, and then the prosecutor is the one that goes, no, you're a victim, but we can't help you. So everyone gets mad at him. And then if they actually charge him, then they come in, and the guy gets a slap on the wrist, or my baby goes to prison when he shouldn't have, and everyone hates me. So everyone thinks the sheriff is great. Half the people hate the prosecutor, and everyone thinks I'm awful. That's how the justice system works.
No.
Well,
I don't think he's awful. But I haven't been in front of him, so I don't think he's awful.
It's the people that are in front of you that, you know.
Yeah.
One of our public defenders often says, no one comes in here wanting justice. They want mercy.
Wow.
So
Somebody's
and,
had a roll like that. I mean, you're like Peggy. Peggy's like won 12 elections now, and you're up at 13 or 14.
oh no, I'm
4.
2 for 5 now. 2 for 4.
You've lost some?
Well, yeah.
When was this?
2000 and
This had to be pre-casket car.
no,
Pre-hearse.
no, one
When-
it was. No, I ran it for Superior 3 in the early 2000s and got beat. And then I ran for Superior 1 when Judge Gray retired.
Okay.
And Pete Foley came out, and
Okay.
that didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped.
But he had the greatest mailer ever.
Uh-oh.
There was only one problem.
It got out 2 days late.
It showed up the day after
Oh,
elections.
Oh,
No.
And,
Yeah.
and I get home that night, and I open it, and I go, man, that is really, really good.
Thank you.
And I
Did that
call,
myself,
and I
but-
call him, and I go, what happened? And he goes, I don't know. They told me it'd show up the day before.
Yeah, no, that was
Lesson learned.
well, you know, you can't do all this yourself, and so you
Right.
occasionally you hire people to do things for you. And I'm a frugal man, so the place that I found to print it, they did a great job printing it, but
It was-
they didn't get it out.
It was
You're
perfect.
not the only one. I've
Yeah,
gotten several.
so-
like
It was
that.
perfect.
So the answer to that for everyone is every door direct mail, where you actually go down and say, I want these to go in boxes, and you hand them across the counter, and you can't pick your addresses, but by God, they go out that day or the next day, and it's unfailing. So
Carl,
it's
Carl
very
had a
helpful.
question.
Carl, what's your take on the straight party voting or voting process? I know there are some issues at polling stations.
My take on it, well, I mean, if people want to be a straight party voter, that's fine.
Well,
I don't have a problem with it. I'd like for everyone to sit down and actually think about all candidates, because I'm not going to tell you that, you know, Republicans have the best guy absolutely every time in all circumstances, and I'd like to think that's generally the rule, but I think people need to be very thoughtful about their vote. And you may have, you know, we've had one this year that Republicans selected at the convention, and then everyone started pulling all the skeletons out and rattling around.
well, but
and,
what Carl's talking
you
about,
know, is
when you vote straight Republican or straight Republican or
Mhm.
Democrat,
right.
you still have to vote for the school board because they're nonpartisan
Nonpartisan, yeah.
offices,
Yeah.
and you also have to vote for the
At large.
at-large township board,
Right.
which sometimes there's only 3 running for 3 anyway. But like in Madison, there was 4 running for 3.
Well, that's part
have
of
to
it. So
vote
you
for
got to
those.
pay attention, and you
Right.
got to look at voting machines. A lot of this digital stuff makes it really hard to
Right.
see the big picture. I run into that at work all the time.
I thought the election, when I went in and I voted early, I thought that they did
Yeah.
a really good job and said you can push this
Mhm.
button and vote straight Republican or straight Democrat, but you still
Yeah.
have to, if
Yeah.
you want to vote for the
Right.
school board or the.
I mean, they almost need to set those up to where if you vote straight party, it goes, okay, that's all well and good, but now you've got this,
Mhm.
Right.
as
Like
opposed
you
to
did
making
straight.
you scroll, and that's a level of complication that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's, to let people know, only 6 states, including Indiana, still do straight party voting.
Yeah,
up, Chris?
well,
Really? I
So-
didn't know that.
I would just encourage everyone to not do that, because that way you can have the personal satisfaction of voting for your Republican candidate every single election, every race.
I like clicking
Instead
the
of pushing
Well,
one button,
But
you get to push multiple buttons,
But-
which
That's
is
how I like
obviously
that.
more fun.
but
Exactly.
If you,
Through
like
6
doing that.
pages of a
if you-
ballot.
If you look in
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
race and you got a few less than the others, so
Yeah.
some didn't vote. for
Right,
you
there's
that
an
did vote
undervote.
for-
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah.
They scratch.
They scratch.
Yeah, well,
So
it's
you can
just-
push the R and then go.
that's why I joke about who got how many votes, but to be honest, when you're unopposed, you should pay attention to that as a candidate, because if you're drawing real undervote, you've got people out there that they're not waving a flag
Intentionally.
from the
Yeah.
top of the
That's
courthouse.
like
yeah,
you.
that's the first thing
Yeah.
I asked.
So,
Kane. I'm like,
well,
I'm
I'm gonna
ad.
suggest they're mad at the other Brian Williams. There's got to be one here in town.
He's a realtor.
Yeah.
That's not you.
He sold me that house with a failed septic or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Appointed positions, dude. I'm not sure what you're asking.
What does
Judge, can you help me?
He's
He's not appointed.
Well, I'm not appointed. I'm elected. I used to be appointed. We have 4 elected judges that serve 6-year terms. They are the judges that handle all of the heavy lifting for legal cases in the state, in the county, all the criminal cases, all the felonies, most of the misdemeanors, all the divorces, all the kin none personal injury, the guardianships, the probate estates, all the small claims cases. You know, we're all the child support collection, all the paternity cases, all the juvenile delinquency, all the CHINS cases, child in need of services. Your local judges that are elected here are handling those. And then we have one appointed judge that we all get together and decide who that is, that handles a lot of the minor hearings. And we have 5. So I do a third of the criminal and about half of the probate and a quarter of the civil, and none of the juvenile and none of the small claims, and that's why I have the best. Oh, and I do none of the mental health, so that's why I've got the best. I've got the best case allocation in the county.
Judge Foley told me you were going to pick up the mental health.
Thank you, Bryce.
Well,
I'm kidding.
We've actually had that discussion, and we need to know who our new judge is going to be, and if they have zero interest in it, I may
Do we
that.
know when that person's going to be appointed?
Well, we know that interviews are on the 14th, and we know that a judge that resigned effective June 30th was just replaced last week, so it took exactly that many days to get someone in. So I figure we'll have someone on January, maybe December, but probably not because Christmas. Everything stops in December.
Mr. Hester's giving you good praise. Too.
Mhm.
He's
Well-
a constitutional judge.
I try.
Pete thought January.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Peggy did win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Mr. Murray,
Our
thank
sideline
you.
reporter's on.
So,
Hello, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa.
so that's what current judges do.
You spilled it. I threw caramel.
That is a party foul.
That's like $20 worth of.
I just about got your phone wet.
I just love we're representing Morgan County very well because we're all sitting around on the internet with a big chaw in our mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good work.
Those are homemade
It's the best
caramels.
caramels around.
Those are homemade.
Yes, they
Right.
are.
Wow. They're great.
Carl's expanding on this. Let's.
Mhm.
You didn't know that?
Okay, I know a
That's the one
person.
they
Oh,
even leave
You'll
me
just
for.
have to read it and then scroll down.
I know a personal friend told me to finalize
For caramels.
polling location and hit finalize and insisted on going to the school board. The person at the location
I know,
took
right?
assist.
I'm starting to wonder.
We're
What?
getting hit.
Very well
So it
could
sounds
be.
like they were encouraging to finalize his vote before he had a chance to vote for nonpartisan
Yeah,
offices.
yeah.
You're
read it,
right,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
And then those are issues that need to be taken care of in the poll worker training.
Right.
Right. And we desperately need poll workers, so if he wants to come out next year
Oh, yeah.
and is qualified,
Brian Murray.
they'd love to have him, I'm sure.
So when I was clerk, the average age of a poll worker was 72 years old. And they could not do the electronic poll books.
Hi, Denise. Good to see you. Can't wait till you get back.
A lot of winners in here tonight. Peggy, Judge Williams, Luke Jackson, Melissa Green. Here she comes.
And I've only got 4 more signs to take down and I'm done.
Really?
I was out
been
there
on this
late in the day.
afternoon?
Oh, I've got 3 to take down. I need to go back to
Yeah,
admin.
Melissa's gonna sing.
Poor Kenny, I think he has 1,100.
Oh,
It's unbelievable.
Right. That man
boy.
has a sign game. What can you say?
he
I
did
think he
win
had
tonight.
1,200 signs.
Yes, he did.
1,200.
Yeah. Well, when I ran in 2016, I think I wound up with 1,100. And it adds up.
Yeah.
So,
It's not just putting them out, it's
Kenny.
taking them down.
yeah.
Luke's getting some.
Luke is a good
Praise
man
from-
from Carolina, from Chris Hester there. There you go, Luke.
Thank you, Carolina.
Hi, Chris.
Dan Conway did defeat Don Lips tonight in the school board by 350 votes, I believe is what our total was. So congrats to him. But like I said, Mr. Sonic won, Mr. Myers won. who else we got off the top of my head?
Tammy.
Tammy won. Lots of unopposed races in county. But hey, it's still a lot of work. You guys can put up at there you go. Larry Ralph, sponsor of the show. One of the
That's right.
there you go. Nancy's on it too. You know, I love all the signs now. You guys started this.
I would love to find a good use for all those signs after you're done with them.
Your chicken coop.
Your chicken coop.
Yes.
What do you do with them in your chicken coop?
Insulate your chicken
You
coop.
insulate your chicken coop?
Yes.
But I don't have
Flower
chicken coop.
work.
What do you do if you
Weed
don't
barrier.
have a chicken coop?
Weed barrier.
gotta build
Weed
one.
barrier.
Wet mulch beds. Weed
Mulch
barrier,
beds,
yeah.
okay.
We can shoot them. They make
Oh, I have
They
used them
make
as
great target
hangers. They're
holders.
great for that.
Mine has a picture on it. You could shoot it.
I had
Practice
my own
headshots.
picture on mine. That was kind of, yeah. That keeps you humble when you're
Now,
shooting
this is
yourself in the
after
face.
you take them down. Don't be
Right,
shooting them
right.
out
It's just kind of a metaphor for deciding to run for office.
Right?
Or in the foot.
Hey, we could have an auction. We could
If you
auction off
win,
one of
it's in the
Melissa's
foot. If you
autographs.
win,
There we go.
Yeah.
What?
How much can we make off
We're
an
gonna,
autograph
we're
of
gonna
Melissa's
auction off
sign?
one of your signs.
Oh, wow.
You have to autograph it though.
Okay, I will.
We'll start
Right.
a pot right here.
Okay.
Right?
It's my campaign
Luke's
finance.
already in it.
She needs to put the money in the finance.
Right. You're excited to get to work, aren't you, young lady?
I am. I love it. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like harder than I expected.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It all looks cool on the surface, and when you actually hold the position and you realize what goes into it,
Right.
there's a lot of nuances in there.
Wallpaper
Oh,
my
No.
Did he win?
Garage to keep the roads.
3 more to have.
Beverly Sheiks.
Now, Beverly, do you use the signs to keep them out because of the material of the sign, or because it has Melissa's picture on it and that
Right.
keeps the mice out?
It's my picture.
Uh-huh.
I know the answer.
Hey,
Right.
looks like JD Vance just won Ohio.
Yes. Bank account.
Yeah.
By the way.
That's a big one.
That's huge.
Yep, that's a big one. That looks good for the.
What you got there?
24.
I have a little. Yeah, a little. No, that was when I handed out my campaign literature. I would tell people that you could hang it on your fridge and remember to vote, and in the meantime, it work as an appetite suppressant because you kind of walk up to that kind of hungry, and then you'd look at my fat face and go, "I can wait."
Two-pronged.
Not hungry anymore. It's
Two-pronged
weird.
attack.
So, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Well, lots of winners in here tonight. It's been a good day for a lot of
Thank you
people.
kindly.
A lot of hard work. Yeah, have we won Ohio yet? Have we seen them numbers yet?
JD Vance.
He did win.
He won.
That's
Well,
big.
this says 67% reported.
What
No.
about up in the first district? Up
First
in the
district. We haven't got that one.
But Twitter,
First district, Indiana.
somebody
Oh,
said
Herschel
won.
Walker was he
That
was
was
winning?
Mervyn, and the other.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one was way out of reach earlier. It
Really?
looked
she
like,
was only
yeah.
$9,000 back with
Oh.
only 25%.
But they didn't have Porter County in, which is Republican.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. I'd like to see that one.
Herschel was up.
Yeah.
And the one had already won, had been already declared, did they not? Remember? Georgia? Am I
The
wrong?
congressional
Right,
seat. Yeah. I don't think that one was even in play, really.
right. There's been a lot of Republican wins across the country.
Yeah, the ones that they were watching was in New Hampshire. There's a
Which we never win there, do we?
not in like 200 years,
Yeah.
but there's a
Since the history of the United States.
Not since we dumped tea in the harbor.
there's a general up there, an army general. He's a little rough around the edges, but his motto was "eat or gas," and he was winning.
Dang.
So they're watching that one. They think that they can win. Washington State.
Hello, Bree.
My buddy thinks this
There's a
pretty
poll
savvy
worker.
thinks that we can win Washington State the governor's race. Probably been 100 and some years there since the Republicans won anything. And so yeah, so there's some
That'd be
interesting
awesome.
things. Yeah.
There's one of the poll workers. Bree was working the poll out at Senior Center. Tough gig
She's
for
a good
those.
girl, too.
Yeah, those people all day today.
She's a 4
My gosh, Bree's been working polls forever.
Yeah. Look at Luke coming in with 200 stars.
75%.
Uh-oh.
Florida,
Down
DeSantis
about
flips
7,000 votes.
deep blue
Okay.
Miami-Dade County.
Depends on what
Shut up.
he won Miami-Dade.
Are
That's
you
insane.
kidding
That's
me?
crazy.
Yeah.
That is
That's
wild.
Have
Yeah, they
called
went
House
from
for
Florida went from
deputy
purple to
too?
deep red.
What about, has anybody looked,
Anyone else notice once Judge Williams arrived, the
Look
room
at the
became more
New York
relaxed and
governor's
comical.
race.
So Monday night hours, Melissa and Comedy Tuesday is going to be held by the judge.
Oh, I would be
Jake.
so defrocked after doing that.
Defrocked.
Defrocked.
I have to witness you being defrocked.
Well, yeah,
let's
that
keep
would,
defrocting, not
that would get me in all kinds of trouble.
A public defrockation.
yeah.
Can we
I mean,
mention
we're
That sounds
Like-
almost obscene.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Can we
It's
mention
a
the
family
T
show?
word
We're
tonight?
defrosting
Yes.
everything in here
Right.
now.
Well, no.
We
Can
can
we-
Well, see,
mention
that's my theory on John Fetterman when they asked him if he was in favor of fracking. With his cognitive language problems, he mistook it for another word.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so he's in
What'd you call
favor
me?
of that, and I have to agree with him. I'm in favor of that
what'd you
too.
call me?
Probably all grown-ups are. So,
Like,
you
well,
Wow.
hey,
he
Jake
just
got
wasn't really
something.
sure what he was saying.
No.
I was saying if we want to talk about the T word, DeSantis flipping Miami-Dade is a pretty good argument against Trump in the primary.
Right.
Florida's such an important state, and
Right.
he's doing that kind of work down there.
Yeah.
But is that
Well, as Trump's already said tonight, if they win, I take all the credit, and if they lose, it's not my fault.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, cover your bases.
That's pretty impressive.
That is a literal quote from tonight. They were
Bree
reporting earlier.
says she's been working since you were a clerk, Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
Who won the school board?
She looked so young when she first came on. I wondered if she was old
Oh,
enough to
sorry.
work the
I don't know
poll.
what defrock's going on here.
What the fuck is going on?
Who won school board? Mr. Luke Jackson won school board, and Mr. Dan Conway won school board tonight. Jake
asking for
Walker's
a
still
public
leading.
defrock.
Oh, Walker's still leading Warlock.
He needs 50 plus 1. No runoff.
Whew, man.
Live defrocking.
Yeah.
So let's get back to this.
That may
Is
have
Melissa and Judge Williams going to sing and
I
dance?
don't know.
Well, I think we can sell that.
No, I
Depends on
don't.
who's singing and who's dancing.
I don't sing. I don't karaoke, and people pressure me to do that. And I always tell them I have one karaoke song, and it's "Closer" by 9 Inch Nails. And the last time I sang it, my pastor said we're never getting invited back to karaoke night at the nursing home anymore. So I'm not singing that.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Fantastic.
These are why elections are only held every so often. Too, to
Yeah.
Can't be doing this.
Municipals are not near as much fun.
No.
Be smart.
Oh, we have another winner. I forgot.
Who we got?
In Mooresville, my friend, Greg Sweeney. Congratulations, Greg.
Really? What
Kicked
position?
their ass.
Where did they win?
Can't
But
You can't say ass on here.
you can't say ass? Are you sure you can't say
I'm
ass?
positive.
This is one of George Carlin's 7 dirty words.
It's past 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Thanks to
Mooresville
fallback,
Council.
you know.
Mooresville Council. And Josh Brown, who ran unopposed, but Greg had a Democrat opponent. So congratulations, both of you.
Very nice.
Yeah, very good.
Very nice.
It's a good night for Republicans in Morgan County.
I think it's a
We
good
figured-
night for Republicans statewide
It's
and
national.
probably
Yeah.
nationwide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got any more update for us, Shay?
I don't. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on in Arizona.
Maricopa County?
We can say heck, right?
Yeah, I mean, they'll find votes tonight for EM. Don't worry about it.
Trying to find
Jake's
out.
posting
Yeah.
on
Damn it,
comments.
Dean.
There's a lot of fracking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we could replay election in 2020 when we were here at 3M and Dean and I refused to call Arizona. And we've yet to call Arizona.
We're not calling.
Yeah.
There was cheating.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was cheating.
There's clear cheating.
Yeah, I saw a cute meme. Biden's about ready to tap into the strategic vote reserve.
Strategic vote reserve.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The strategic ballot reserve.
I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of anything, but when Trump plays that video, his mess ups, and his speaking, I lose it because
Oh.
I've got two words for you, and it's made in America. Then he says, "American," you can describe in one word, and it's and you're like, "What the hell is wrong with you, dude?"
And they criticize Trump for covfefe.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I just lose it.
Chip Keller won too.
Chip did win. Yes, Chip
guy.
won.
Was he was unopposed though, right?
Yeah.
Well, like you.
Like me.
This is the unopposed side.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. All the unopposed on this side of the
Side.
table.
Right.
So that's right. Peggy's the only one that had an opponent in here tonight.
Well, but you got last time I ran though, and had opponents. I had 4. Or was it 5?
5.
You had
So,
4
yeah.
people running for judge.
Yeah.
5 people.
That one it was
5?
Yeah, empty seat. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So in the primary,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So you feel like you've done something when you beat half the county. So
They're gonna be
I wouldn't know what it's not like because it's usually primary and general.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I've only not had an opponent twice.
Mhm.
And that was in a
Really?
primary. My first and second reelection in a primary. I've always had a general opponent.
Right. But I didn't really see anybody. I mean I haven't been in your world, but it didn't seem like they were working very hard this year. They just had somebody on the ballot.
I was focused on me.
Right,
I wasn't
but
focused on the.
I mean,
yeah.
but I never saw a sign. I never saw any earned media or anything for.
This was your largest margin of victory in a while, isn't it?
I think this is my largest margin ever
Really?
in victory. Yeah.
Congratulations.
And this was
I've
a
always
new
come in the
district and everything.
60,
Big deal.
65, 68, some,
Is that-
depending on, but this one was over 70%. We're still waiting on Monroe, but I only have about 600 voters in Monroe.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the finals
you're
from
good.
Johnson.
So you'll be fine. Yeah.
So, like I said, mathematically, it's an impossibility. But yeah, everyone wants to see their margin
Sure.
and see where they can focus on. And you do a lot of we do a postmortem, a very detailed postmortem on my district.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we work on for 2. Yeah. So that's what we work on for 2
Guy
years.
over there.
Does.
The data analysis. It's pretty
Very in depth.
very
Well, you
in depth.
know, especially when she had more of Monroe. It was okay. So, like the first time she lost by 3,000 votes in Monroe against a Monroe candidate. The next time she lost by 1,800, I go, well, that's like a win.
Yeah. The reduction of
You know,
loss
and
was
then
a
the next time
win.
it was like 1,200.
I think we got it down to 400 votes
Yeah.
at the end. I was still losing, but only by 400, not 3,400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bree says she had nobody was even running idea anybody was running against you until recently.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say. I
silly
mean,
to
it
run
was the
against Peggy Mayfield at this point.
campaign
Right.
from what. And I'm kind of paying
it's a waste
attention.
of
Money and time.
Her
The
opponent
people
was
who aren't
opposed to
even paying
capitalism.
attention. Say what?
Her opponent was opposed to capitalism.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Like an anarcho-communist or straight up Marxist or
Well, she was wearing Reeboks today, so she's not that opposed to it. I don't know.
no? All that means is that she's okay with child labor.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, just chocolate.
That's our show. We're gonna get defrocked real soon now.
I don't know.
Her
Oh, we
platform.
got a judge.
You're really stretching
We
it.
got a judge. We're
Was
good.
she, was she carrying an iPhone also?
Her
Matter of fact,
platform
she
was,
was.
"I'm everything that Peggy's not," and I go, "Uh huh."
That leaves not
I mean,
much.
that was like, so like guns.
Spilled her Starbucks
Yeah.
Reeboks.
Wow.
I wasn't joking about Reeboks. Really.
Yeah.
It's
That's
silly. It's silly to
weird
run
time.
against Peggy Mayfield at this point in time. I mean, if you look at her numbers, if you look at who she is, and you look at her district, I mean, who in that district doesn't love guns and babies?
No,
Right.
And like that, I mean, that's Peggy Mayfield. Look at her numbers. You're just you'd be wasting your time. You're wasting your money, and you're wasting the time of Hoosiers.
Here, let me get this microphone a little closer.
She's just great.
I know Jay's over there,
Uh-huh.
front man for you right now.
Dean's going to be like later going, can you save that video? We need it.
Play that again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but the voters in Morgan County,
Yeah.
They-
Oh, my.
You see what you started?
What?
yeah,
Well, I just.
we joke about it a lot around this table.
I'm not sure it's the term. It's the colloquial jargon lingo of the judiciary.
Again, Jennifer.
Well, Well, and I'll say this too, and I mentioned it to Peggy just briefly, but Senator Cruz up in northern Indiana, he and I are a member of a Sons of American Revolution organization together, and we had lunch just a few weeks ago, and he looked at me and said, "Now, you're from Morgan County, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's Peggy Mayfield's district."
Right.
And I said, "Yep, it is." And he said, "I just had dinner with her the other night."
Yeah.
He said, "She says she is a sharp lady."
Yep.
He said, "You guys keep her." I said,
We will.
We fully intend to, I hope.
I think
And
so.
you too, Melissa. We
So-
plan on keeping you.
but,
I hope.
but yeah,
Hard
that
fought
does
victory.
say something when your contemporaries think highly of you. That's good. That's good.
Any upset news? Are you listening to Sammy Terry?
I know. I was like, what was that?
Oh no, that's my
Fucking
ringtone
spooky.
going on. I'm being congratulated by the 4 people who have followed my race.
No, I have to ask you. I heard from Billy that you may have set some poor kids up in the cemetery with Dean Roberson
Yes.
and scared the bejesus out of them.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
auctioned off the ride in his hearse
Right.
with Sammy Terry.
Right. And I hate to announce this. You're kind of telling the jump scare secret.
And
We're
they're
going
all
to
in
the
bed.
website.
That's going to be the ones that are
Okay.
scared anyway.
So we haul them all down to Poston and do the loop around like the main mausoleum, and then we came down here to South View or
Right.
by the liquor store, and we drive back in there, and I stop in the back, and there's a really neat kind of monolith
Yeah.
tombstone, and so while I've got the headlights on that and extolling the virtues of that being the very headstone that I want,
Right.
Dean Roberson in the rubber mask rips open the back door of the hearse.
Get out of my graveyard!
And of course, hilarity ensues.
Right.
And so,
Did you have to rinse out the back of your hearse later on?
I did not. And as the kids were getting in, one of them had a Sprite. I'm like, Dad, you have to hold that.
Right,
Because I don't
right.
want it. So, but it was great, and this is a great comment on the internet in the modern age. As we're rolling out of the graveyard, the 10-year-old boy goes, "That was great. 5 stars on Yelp." I'm like, I wonder if Yelp knows all the reviews are coming from
Right.
10-year-olds.
That's awesome.
I gotta get in here.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say exactly where he lives, but he lives close to Crybaby Bridge, and he might be responsible for scaring people out there as well.
It's possible. So, yeah.
Really?
You drive a hearse.
Hey, what's this new car you got? Because I saw you go through town the other day.
What?
Little sports car.
Oh, the Porsche.
Yeah, you had it out there.
Oh.
You might have been speeding, by the way.
That's not speeding. It's called spirited driving.
Confident,
I heard it in
Yes.
I was doing something
You're
and I
the
saw it go by and I go, huh, who's that Judge Williams?
Yeah.
And then he goes, whoa.
Right.
Okay, number one, a quick acceleration to the speed limit is not illegal. And I'm going to continue to insist that
I'm
if you're
writing
in a
this stuff
Prius
down
or a
so I can use
Chevette,
it.
you may be speeding or engaged in what we call reckless driving. If you're in a car like that, it is merely spirited.
I was shocked because it wasn't the hearse.
spirited driving.
Spirited driving.
Skillful spirited
Yes,
driving.
yes.
I cannot wait.
Is that a defense?
I don't know that it's a defense. That's what I'm going to call
Judge Bowen.
cross-examination.
I can pull it up on YouTube.
Right.
William,
Right.
on this night.
Don't make me
Right.
call him.
Yeah.
Yes.
I once listened to an argument by a local attorney who was defending a battery case, which you have to touch someone in a rude, insolent, or
Insolent manner.
angry manner, is how it's charged. He was declaring that his client was not guilty because his touching was purposeful.
That's not rude or insolent.
And my purpose was to have you not standing up anymore and laying on the ground.
So if you're laughing when you strike someone,
It's not rude and insolent.
They're good intentions.
So,
Wow.
But no, yeah, I got
You
that a
have
couple
lost all
years ago.
control.
It's been fun, and I've quit riding my motorcycle largely because I just.
So when I get a speeding ticket, I'm going to say, Judge Peden,
He's
I
gonna-
need to be moved to Judge Williams'
Judge
court.
Williams'
And he'll go,
court.
I don't think that works that way. And I go, no, I
Well, if you're convicted in traffic court, you can appeal your conviction.
To the
It goes
county
to circuit court, and I'm sure Judge Hanson will have.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very open mind.
that'll go so well.
I spoke to him today, as a matter of fact. He was having some issues with a hum on his. He was trying to record a book,
Oh, okay.
and he was having a hum, and on his mixer, I couldn't figure it out. So I said, you guys, no, I'm not going there. This look at these guys over here dying, and I know you're thinking
Can I quote that in
no,
Spirit of
I'm
Driving?
done.
I'm going to suggest you talk to your attorney about using that term before you really trot that out.
But yeah, you guys are rotten over there. But no, he. Was,
I'm gonna pray for all of you.
It's too late for some of us.
Wow.
That's it. I'm
Pray
done.
for all. You know what that means in Southern Lady, don't you? It means go to.
Isn't that all covered by Bless Her Heart?
No, that means you.
Yeah.
Bless your heart means you. I'm going to pray for you means go to.
Yeah.
It's all code.
It's spirited. It's spirited conversation.
All right,
ever so
real quick. Peggy, once again, Peggy won her district 60. Congrats to Peggy. Luke Jackson unopposed, but he didn't win tonight. He did win tonight. Melissa Owens Green won tonight. That's how I know her. And of course, Judge Williams with the highest vote count. Did you get the highest vote count?
He did not.
Oh, I stand correct.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
close.
You had a spirited
Way to
vote
bring
count.
that up.
I had spirited voting. Right.
But Judge Williams did win unopposed.
Yeah.
Judge Kenny was always the one that wanted. He was like, "I got this many more," and I go, "You ran out of time."
I know. Well,
He goes, "I got 400 more than
that's right.
whoever."
Then
You
Judge
gotta keep
Craney
track of
or
it.
Judge
Who's-
And I was like,
Burnham.
Tom,
Right.
you're ate up with that, buddy.
Right.
I know. Well, you know, there
It's
was a
good.
contest
You guys-
going on there.
Yeah.
Kenny Hale won. Dan Conway won.
Troy Sprinkle.
Troy Sprinkle won.
Chip Keller.
Chip Keller won.
Greg Sweeney, Mooresville.
Greg Sweeney in Mooresville. Rich Myers is sheriff once again.
Did Rich win?
Rich won. He hung
Are you
on for the
sure?
win. Yes.
Was it close?
Really close. No. He won unopposed.
He had me
that's-
pick his signs up. I don't know what he's going to use them for.
Yeah,
Yeah, he-
termed out.
Is, he,
I
is,
hope
he,
he termed
is that
out
it?
after
This
That's
is
what
it.
Kevin
4
just
more
said.
years.
Who's this?
Oh,
Rich?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
Rich.
his second term.
Well, you go away for 4 years and then you come back like
Charlie.
Charlie Beaver did.
Charlie did that several times,
Rich-
didn't he?
No, just once.
He only did one.
He did 8 and then
He-
was
he-
gone
8 and gone 4 and
4
came
and came
back.
back for 4.
But almost every sheriff I know, not just in this county but elsewhere, into their second term,
They are so done.
they are counting the days.
Right.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
well liked. He's one of the when I was over in Johnson County. I used to hear about Rich a lot,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
some of it was because his work downtown at the State House. as
Right.
well.
No, he was very well thought of for when he worked for state police.
State
He was their
police.
media relations guy, was always affable,
Yeah.
open, communicated well, and it served him well here.
Rich is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a very
Sheriff
good
Dwayne
guy.
Burgess over there when he knew I was coming over here, he was like, "Hey, there's a really great sheriff over there," and I had of course
Well-
about him, but Wayne had just incredible things. He's a very popular guy.
And Rich is very involved. Sheriff Myers is very involved in the Sheriff's Association. So on a statewide basis, he has a lot of input as well.
Good deal. Lots of good results tonight.
Which you have to think about. And just for 1 second, though, think about the political power that has come out of Martinsville, Indiana. I mean, we aren't just some little itty bitty hamlet. We've had past congressmen in Congressman Bray, Bill Bray. We have 2 governors, Paul McNutt and Emmett Branch. We have the current pro tem with Rod Bray. We will likely, in a matter of hours, minutes, the state treasurer, Daniel Elliott, is out of Martinsville, Indiana. I mean, it makes it look like I'm the slacker.
And we just sent Pete Foley to the
Pete
Court
Foley
of
to the Court of
Appeals
Appeals. That's another
for
one.
what amounts to a lifetime appointment.
And
up
we've
there.
had several female firsts come out of Martinsville, Indiana. So Jane Craney was elected prosecutor at the same time that Sue Glick was, but they were the first female prosecutors in the state.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. Thelma Gray was the first female commissioner in the state. Shannon Cole was the first female mayor for Martinsville. I have been the first female minority legislator elected out of Martinsville. I'm trying to think of the other females. We had the state librarian, which is an appointed position, but it's been a long time. Their name is Lizzie Callis. She actually designed the first state flag, but she was an appointed position from Martinsville, Indiana. So we've got some really impressive political chops
I'm
coming out of
impressed with all
Martinsville,
that
Indiana.
knowledge you just rattled off there. Scripted. That was
That'd be a test.
You know,
right. I fell.
I was at the
by the way, John
rededication.
Wooden's from here.
Centerton, actually, wasn't it?
No, we're claiming it. He's
Oh,
ours.
I'm sorry.
Centerton.
Centerton.
Please, blasphemer.
The Tri-City of Bethany, Centerton, and Brooklyn. So.
And
Can we just throw in Bobby
Doc-
Helms for just
Sure, I know.
Yeah.
we just throw-
Bobby Helms is well liked in this room.
Doc,
Lots of love.
Doc,
now that we're putting up Christmas
the
trees.
swim coach from IU, Doc.
Doc Holverson or Holverson. Doc.
Lives from Waverly.
Yeah, Doc.
He's a river rat.
Doc. What was his last name? Councilman.
Councilman.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Doc Councilman. River rat.
Yep.
Which is where Craig Haggard is. He's a river rat.
Madison.
Harrison.
Really?
Yeah. Waverly.
Craig shoots and eats them.
It's a term of endearment to be
What are
a
you talking about up here?
Yeah,
River
It's a
Rat, I'm
badge of
thinking Ohio,
honor.
Madison.
No. Harrison Township.
That's funny.
It's
The White River Rats.
I
That's
introduced,
not a racist.
I introduced
White
Melissa
River.
and I said, and Craig's dad, I go, and Herb's a river rat. And the look on her face, and he goes, yes, I am. And it's a term of endearment because those guys were not supposed to
Amount to anything.
not to anything, and they're all very successful in their own whatever they did. Randy Haymaker, Herb Haggard, Paul Bryant, who's deceased, several of them, and they all went on to do great things. And but they were on the wrong side of the tracks, basically, at that point. Done pretty well.
It's been a long day for a lot of us in this room. I congratulate all of you personally. Even if you're running unopposed, it's not easy.
Still got to
Oh,
put
it's
yourself
so
out there.
much easier.
Yeah, but I mean, you no matter what, if you run for office, the
Finals
minute
and
you
Johnson.
run, announce you're making
Wow.
somebody mad. You're never going to make everybody happy, and all you can do is put your best foot forward, as Luke and I discussed, and of
So
course
we see
Peggy,
Monroe, but-
Melissa, and then Judge. So, congrats to all of you guys for winning. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're in good
She's
hands.
got some Johnson County numbers.
Oh, you
It's
got some
an
Johnson
honor to
County-
get to serve.
Yeah, it truly is an honor to serve. When you know that this many people are putting their faith in you, it's a real honor.
You are well loved in this area, and it shows that.
Depends on who you ask.
Well, what was the number? 75 to what? What was the percentages?
It's 72% in Johnson County.
Yeah. So that's your numbers you're waiting on.
Yeah, that's it. She just sent them to me.
Yeah.
72% to 27% in Johnson County.
How'd Monroe go? You know,
So I only have 600 voters or 300
I know,
voters
but
down there.
They'll probably be counting that for like 3 weeks while they're working on the ballots.
And the two precincts that I currently still represent are predominantly Republican anyway.
78.81 here.
Yeah.
Oregon.
So I'm going to be
That's
averaging
80%.
75%.
Wow. Yeah, 80% in this area.
Wow.
And 72 in your new.
In the new district. That's
I can't even get 80% of my house to like me. and
You live by yourself.
Right. And you get 80% of the county.
God, I
That's
thought that
amazing,
might be the
Peggy.
secret. That's not going to work either.
Right.
No.
Don't try it.
you know,
You need to get more dogs.
Right, something.
I will say to anyone who's out there in a contested race, putting your name out there is not easy.
Nope.
Right.
So, kudos to all the candidates who decided that they were willing to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
You all right down there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
She may be singing later tonight.
I may.
This is a family show.
Yeah, of course.
Defrocking's going on. Just popped in. I beat him to it. He was going to go there. I know he was. All right, guys, I'm done. You guys done?
It's
Got
good.
anything else you want to add, Peggy?
Call Arizona.
No, I was going to say, have we
Does Carrie win that?
She's down. Quite a bit, but what somebody sent me.
What?
Not
Not a,
no way.
But I
Who?
don't think it was.
We're
Let's
gonna
be
have
the
to bring-
first 3 Democrat.
we're gonna have to bring in some votes then at midnight or something.
Yeah,
we're gonna
because
have
she
to
was up
reverse
13 in a poll.
that. Yeah.
who?
Very Lake.
Oh.
Green sign on green.
Yeah, I know. Now we're all
I don't know what that
desperately
means.
looking.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I don't know. This says 39%,
Fine.
so
39. Yeah, that's low.
she's down 55 to 40 to 45.
That's all right.
With what percentage in?
39.
It says 39
Ooh.
reporting. 606,000 to 493.
Thank you, Bree.
Bill Scott, May the Green Mountain State. He got reelected out of Vermont, I guess.
Hi, Becky.
There's Becky.
She was the librarian.
Bree, you
Yeah.
too.
Hi, Becky.
That's right. I knew that
She's a
name.
sweetheart.
Tim Scott won reelection in South Carolina.
Becky's great.
She was great.
She's supported us from day one, probably.
Yeah.
Republican Elaine Laura, Democrat Virginia, lost her congressional seat. Democrat Elaine Laura lost her seat to Republican Jen Keegan's.
Mm.
And
That
That
is
was one
in
of their
Virginia.
bellwether elections they were
Yeah,
talking about
right
on
there.
Fox
Yeah.
earlier.
to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's see.
There's Kim Meredith.
Ted.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Darcy.
There's Kim.
Tim, you're still up?
You did not get tomorrow off, no.
You should have asked me.
Ted
Tim. I
Budd,
was in
Republican,
this.
North Carolina, elected to the U.S. Senate. I still don't see anything on Carrie Lake.
I
Yeah,
can't
Ju-
imagine she's going to lose.
I didn't realize that Becky Schubert is Julie.
It's
Julie
Minton's
Minton won, I
aunt.
believe, too. It
Yeah,
was
I
close.
did, yes, she
Julie
did.
Minton.
It was
yeah.
close.
Did Julie Minton get all the votes?
She got all the votes.
But she was 100%.
But I didn't realize that Becky was
Yeah.
her aunt. That's cool.
Carrie Lake is 44.9 to Katie Hobbs 55.1, but the way Arizona is so screwed up, like you can't tell which counties are reporting, like what's left out
Right.
there.
Well, yeah, it only
That's
shows
40% reporting.
just
but
40%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be,
This-
there could be huge chunks in there for Carrie Lake.
And they're
Jake, you didn't
saying
have any more vacation days.
Tucson and the lower border area looks like that hasn't reported yet. So
And that strip up at the top, what's that up
right,
next to New Mexico?
Where's
there?
Maricopa County?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
That's down on the border.
It's
and
going
it's
north.
75% Trump district, so.
Yeah.
But it's the one right next to it, which is Cochise County. Went 75%, 74% for Biden, and I'm like,
Allegedly.
yeah, but I'm like, I don't understand. I mean, it's right. It's a bigger landmass on the border,
Right.
smaller population, but
There was no mayoral race this year. That is in next May and November. There will be a mayoral election. Anybody got anything else they want to add?
No.
before we
Thanks
get
for
out?
having us.
thanks for
Hey,
having us.
thank you, Kevin.
yeah,
I
no,
appreciate
thanks
you,
for doing
bud.
this.
Listen, thank you,
Thank you.
Peggy, Dean.
So
Thank
when's
you.
comedy night again?
I know we need
I
to.
love you, friend.
We got to get you guys in here
I got
more often.
I'm like I've used half
serious.
my jokes tonight. That's something about
And
that.
thank you for the
gotta get new
refreshments.
material.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Refreshments are
Yeah.
always my pleasure.
Whose phone was doing that?
Mine
Dean's
with moisture in a
phone's
charging port.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not moisture.
Yeah.
that's straight from a very nice Kentucky
Hello, bro.
distillery.
Try that out.
Moisture in the charging port. That's what she said. Anyway.
Oh my goodness. Here we go.
Yeah, we got to get out.
New level. All right.
Yeah, Rachel.
All right, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. We will see you
Congratulations,
soon.
everyone.